Vishal Gupta, 11th June 2023. President how they upheld constitutionalism. Gyani Zail Singh. President wanted to use Article 75, PM along with enjoys the pleasure of President to dismiss the PM, although President did not use this. All India Radio came out with the news of the President withdrawing the pleasure from the Council of Ministers. 1987 Swiss Radio came out with an allegation Bofors company paid the bribe for defense contracts. President Gyani Zail Singh used the pocket veto formally on the postal bill brought by the government. Venkataraman, 1987 to 1992, era of activist presidents. He also used the pocket veto on the postal bill. This started the era of activism by the president. President using his discretionary powers to ensure constitutionalism. 1989 VP Singh became PM and requested the president to reject the postal bill. Venkataraman rejected the bill. 1989 for the first time, Parliament faced the situation of the hung Parliament. Congress party emerged as the largest party, followed by Janata Dal and BJP. In 1989, President Venkataraman came up with a convention that if there is a hung Parliament, then the president should invite the leader of the single largest party to form the government. President Venkataraman asked all the political parties to form a national government during the 1990s crisis, increasing communalism, caste-based politics, and economic crisis. 1991 President Venkataraman, 1987 to 1992, proposed to form a national government but it was not accepted by the political parties. 1991 LS elections were held, and T.N. Sheshan introduced phase-wise elections. It was held in 3 phases and elections were held in a single day. Congress party emerged as the single largest party but they did not have a majority in LS. 1990 Parliament passed a bill to increase the salaries and allowances of MPs. Venkataraman rejected this money bill as prior approval was not taken. Venkataraman invited the single largest party to form the government. Congress party elected P.V. Narasimha Rao for the post of PM, 1991 to 1996. President Venkataraman said, the POI office is like an emergency lamp. It comes on automatically when there is a crisis and goes off automatically when the crisis passes. President of India should be a nominal executive when there is a normal situation. And the president should become active when there is an emergency situation. Shankar Dayal Sharma, 1992 to 1997. 1996 elections held in LS. BJP emerged as the single largest party and he invited the single largest party in LS. Atal Bihari Vajpayee formed the government with outside support. BJP did not get the majority because of the 1991 Babri Masjid demolition. The new coalition was formed under H.D. Deve Gowda. I.K. Gujral followed H.D. Deve Gowda as PM. I.K. Gujral gave the Gujral Doctrine. It is related to international relations. As per this, India being the largest country in South Asia relations should not expect reciprocity from the small neighboring countries. K.R. Narayanan, 1997 to 2002. He was called an activist president. 1997 United Front government was in power. They recommended dismissing the UP government under Article 356 on grounds of the breakdown of constitutional machinery. Asterisk definition of the breakdown of constitutional machinery is not defined clearly. K.R. Narayanan sent back the bill for reconsideration of the bill, suspensive veto. He said there is no breakdown of constitutional machinery. The government did not proceed with the bill. K.R. Narayanan acted in an impartial manner. 1998 elections held for LS, 1989, 1991, 1996, 1997 4 times elections held in a period of 9 years and era of political instability. K.R. Narayan discontinued the convention set by President Venkataraman. He came out with a new convention. He said that any political party that wants to hold the highest position must come out with letters of support from 273 MPs. Atal Bihari Vajpayee formed the government. Jayalalitha withdrew support from the government. The government survived with the support of BSP. Vajpayee government was defeated because of 1 vote after 13 months. Asterisk CM of Odisha being a member of LS was occupying the constitutional post in the state, i.e. CM of Odisha. This was legal but immoral. 1999 elections were held for LS and Vajpayee government came to power with the support of DMK. 1999 Vajpayee government wanted to use Article 356 in Bihar to dismiss the government on the grounds of corruption. K.R. Narayanan sent back the recommendation and stated that corruption is not a ground to impose Article 356. But that bill was sent again for the assent and K.R. Narayanan gave his assent. 2002 Godhra riots and K.R. Narayanan asked the PM to take action. K.R. Narayanan asked the government to mention the steps taken to protect the interest of minorities. APJ Abdul Kalam, 2002 to 2007, People's President. 2004 elections were held. UPA came to power. BJP became the second largest party. He followed the convention set by K.R. Narayanan, i.e. asking the letters of support from 273 MPs. K.R. Narayanan, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, and Pratibha Patil all were against capital punishment. They sat on mercy petitions. Issue 01. 2006 President also faced the issue of the Office of Profit Bill. Office of Profit. The executive can be a part of the legislature, but the legislature cannot be part of the executive except COM. They have to be completely independent of the executive. The legislature cannot hold the Office of Profit. The only salary can be the salary one is getting for being MP. Any members of parliament or state legislative members occupying the office will be disqualified under RPA. They should not hold any position in the government which gives them a salary or other benefits. In 1990, VP Singh's government appointed Ramakrishna Hedge as the Planning Commission Deputy Chairman. Election Commission disqualified him as a member of Rupees. In 2005, Jaya Bachchan was appointed as chairperson of UPFDC being an Rupees member. She was disqualified as an Rupees member. Sonia Gandhi was holding the position of NAC, National Advisory Council. Sonia Gandhi resigned as a member of the LS. Election Commission was flooded with the Office of Profit complaints. Parliament passed the Office of Profit Bill. It exempted some of the offices from the definition of Office of Profit and it was applied from retrospective effect. Bill was passed by both houses and it was sent for assent to President. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam sent back the bill for reconsideration as the bill exempted the offices from retrospective effect. All the political leaders met with the President and finally President agreed to give his assent. Issue 02. 2005 elections were held to Bihar Assembly hung assembly. The government recommended for President's rule in Bihar. President gave his assent. SC in the Bihar Assembly dissolution case found fault in the imposition of the President's rule and asked for extreme caution before imposing Article 356. President wanted to resign but then agreed to remain in that position. Pratibha Patil, 2007 to 2012. The main issue was presidential discretionary powers. 2001 parliamentary attacks, 2008 Mumbai attacks. Many convicts got capital punishment but President sat over the mercy petitions and did not take action. India was criticized as a soft state. SC intervened and said that inordinate delay in deciding mercy petitions will be considered as a valid ground to convert the death penalty into the lifetime imprisonment. Pranav Mukherjee, 2012 to 2017. He was a constitutional expert and again the term activist president became popular. In 2013, SC in the Lily Thomas case stated that MPs when disqualified under the RPA and conviction is for 2 years then the MPs will be disqualified for 6 years but this disqualification can be stayed if the MP gets a stay from the higher court within 3 months. SC in this case removed the 3 months period. The government brought the ordinance to nullify this judgment. President was not happy with this ordinance. He argued to bring this as bill in parliament. He stated that such an important issue cannot be brought about through an ordinance. In 2014 BJP came to power. BJP did not have a majority in rupees. The government came up with the land acquisition bill but the BJP did not have a majority in rupees so it was brought through ordinance. President gave his assent to the ordinance for 3 times but refused to give his assent for further repromulgation of the same ordinance. His argument was that such an important issue cannot be brought through an ordinance. Some important facts related to President for prelims. The office of the President of India had come into existence to ensure constitutionalism. Our constitution makers felt that there must be proper checks and balances to prevent the dictatorship of the Prime Minister. The role of the judiciary is post-mortem in nature, i.e. judiciary can come into the picture only after laws are made and implemented whereas the President of India can be proactive in ensuring constitutional governance. Constitutional makers have opted for indirect elections to the office of the President of India as the PM is directly elected by the people. They also have opted for different voting systems for the office of the President of India. They have opted for proportional representation on the basis of a single transferable vote. Articles 50 to 78 deal with the office of the President of India in Part 5 of our Constitution. The Union Executive consists of the President, PM, COM, and Attorney General of India. The President of India is elected by an electoral college, which consists of A. Elected members of both houses of parliament. B. Elected members of state legislative assemblies. C. Elected members of legislative assemblies of the Union Territories of Delhi and Puducherry. Nominated members of parliament and state legislative assemblies cannot participate in the election of the President. If an assembly is dissolved, the members cannot vote in the presidential election. The President is elected in such a manner to ensure uniformity in the representation of state and union government. The value of an MLA is decided in the following manner. Qualifications for the office of President. A. He/she should be a citizen of India. B. He/she must be above 35 years. C. He/she should be qualified for the election as a member of the Lok Sabha. D. He/she should not hold any office of profit. E. A candidate must be supported by at least 50 electors as proposers and 50 electors as seconders. Impeachment of the President. The President can be removed by the process of impeachment only for violating the Constitution. But our constitutional makers did not define a violation of the Constitution. Process of impeachment. A. Charges to impeach the President can be initiated by either House of Parliament. B. It should be signed by 1/4 of the members of the House. C. The President should be given 14 days notice. D. The House must pass the resolution by 2/3 RD of the total membership of the House. E. The resolution will be sent to the other House to investigate the charges. F. The President has the right to appear and be represented in the other House during the investigation. G. If the other House also accepts the charges and passes the resolution with a 2/3 RD majority of the total membership of the House, the President stands impeached. The nominated members of both the House can participate in the impeachment process. Elected members of legislative assemblies of state and of UTs cannot participate in the impeachment process. No president has been impeached till now. Impeachment of the President is a quasi-judicial process. Ordinance-making power of the President. Our Parliament does not meet all through the year whereas governance is a continuous activity. In order to give flexibility to the executive in matters of governance, ordinances can be issued when Parliament is not in session. Article 123 of our Constitution empowers the President to issue ordinances. It is part of the legislative powers of the President. The President can issue ordinances when both houses of the Parliament are not in session or either house of Parliament is not in session. These ordinances have the same force and effect as an act of Parliament, but they are only temporary in nature. They have to be passed within a period of 6 months or within a period of 6 weeks after the commencement of the House. The same ordinance be repromulgated by the President for any number of times. In Cooper's case, 1970, SC ruled that presidential satisfaction can be questioned in a court of law on malified grounds. It means that an ordinance issued by the President can be questioned in a court of law on the basis of the intentions. An ordinance can be issued only on those subjects on which the Parliament can make laws. An ordinance cannot be issued to abridge or to take away any other affairs. The President can withdraw the ordinance at any point in time. An ordinance can be retrospective in nature and also. SC in D.C. Vadhva case, 1987 has criticized severely the tendency of central and state governments to issue ordinances. Since the 1970s, the country had witnessed Ordinance Raj. Ruling political parties at the center did not have a majority to get the bills passed in Rajya Sabha. They took the route of ordinances to overcome legislative scrutiny. Between 1967 and 1981, the same ordinance was repromulgated in states like Bihar. 256 ordinances were repromulgated during this period, and in some cases it was repromulgated for more than 14 years. SC ruled that ordinances should be issued only under exceptional circumstances and cannot be a substitute for legislation. It also ruled that it can strike down the repromulgation of ordinances if they are repromulgated to avoid legislative scrutiny. Pardoning powers of the President. The President of India also has pardoning powers. Article 62 of the Constitution empowers the President of India to grant pardons in the following cases. A. Punishment or sentence is for an offence against a union law. B. Punishment or sentence is by military court. The sentence is a death sentence. The President has the following pardoning powers. Question. Comment on the ordinance-making power of the President of India. Also, discuss the various safeguards which can help to prevent possible misuse of such power. 10 marks 150 words. The topic for the next class, pardoning powers of the President and Vice President.